Hi everyone. Okay, so this is an update on my husband's brain cancer. For those of you who are new to this channel, this is like I've just dropped the brain cancer bomb on you. But it's a bit of an update. I will very briefly explain his situation with brain cancer. 3 years ago, he was diagnosed with what was then graded as a grade 4 PNET tumour. I don't know why I said tumour there, like it was tumour. And it is now being classed more as a GBM, a glioblastoma. He had brain surgery, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, and then in August last year, which 2016, he had his second brain surgery after it grew again. Then he had chemotherapy after that. And then this is the update, because I don't think it's really been out there since then. I've kind of kept things quiet. I know at the time of surgery last year, I did vlogging all the time throughout, so I will link that up so those of you who are new to the channel can see that. And there was a lot of press here in the UK, in the tabloids and magazines, and I did that and allowed that to happen because I wanted those of you who are going through a similar thing to know that there's other people out there. Obviously, people are going through it, but maybe that see it slightly differently. We live a very positive and happy life, and I think we're dealing with things pretty well. So I wanted to show that there is another side to panic when you get a diagnosis of cancer. And it was also to help the Brain Tumour Charity, which again I will link below, who I am one of their high profile ambassadors, or whatever you would call it, and I'm a big supporter of what they do. So I wanted to give them a platform as well to be able to generate some money to do the research and things that they do into brain tumours and supporting the families that are going through it. So that happened last year, and then I felt like I needed to have some time out from talking about it myself, because when you talk about something all the time, you attract more stuff into your world, and it just felt like we needed to just be a family and not think about it. So we did, and then obviously he gets regular checkups, and when he's having chemo and MRI scans and things like that. And then we were asked to come in by the consultant, and we were told, this would have been October maybe time, that the tumour had grown. And we felt really flat, because the consultant then said, so I'm going to send you to see the surgeon. And we were like, hadn't even crossed our minds that we would be discussing third brain surgery at all. And it was my husband's brother's wedding coming up, so we didn't tell anybody that we'd had that discussion, which was kind of hard because the wedding had been brought forward because of his diagnosis in the summertime last year, and the prognosis that we'd been given, and they brought that forward. He was best man. It was all quite heightened in terms of emotion, because everyone, was loving, and it was quite emotional. And obviously, knowing that we were going to have a conversation with the surgeon, we were, my emotions were certainly here on the day. It was a lovely, beautiful wedding. And then after the wedding, the week after, we went to see the surgeon, and we'd had big conversations beforehand, discussing what options there might be and that kind of thing. When we got there, the surgeon was quite positive, and he went, well, I think it's behaving how I would expect it to behave. So I guess he had an overall worse outcome of what he saw it doing than we did, but he wasn't in that immediate time sort of worried about it. So he said, I don't see any reason for me to go in at the moment. So necessary, and certainly not this time, this side of Christmas. That was in December. I will see you in January. So that was kind of how it was left. We left feeling more positive, because I guess he was. And then in January, we had another MRI, and then we got called in to see the consultant. As normal, that was to be expected. And our consultant, Dr. Spooner, is wonderful, and he just said, now we're in a situation where brain surgery isn't an option. We've looked at the most recent scans, and what they said is, it's this middle bit here is where the arteries and major points, you can tell I'm not a brain surgeon, this is the bit they really can't get to. It's too dangerous, and his has started to go slightly further back and more in that danger area, and that's the bit that has grown. So from their point of view, they just said we don't want to take a risk, it's just too dangerous. And Dr. Spooner said, Ross, it would decimate you as a person, and I'm just not willing to take that risk. That's just too dangerous. So we will continue with a different chemotherapy, and we will see what happens with that. So he started that chemotherapy. I hope it doesn't sound patronising when I say we, because it isn't me going through it, and I don't ever think that I think this is my path. But I always say we because we are a team and we work things together. But before that, before we knew about whether he would have surgery, we certainly had lots of conversations about whether he would want to have surgery. And that's something from the point of view of a partner, of somebody with a cancer, it's that letting go and recognizing that we both have our own journeys in this. Ross has his own experience, I have my own experience, and I have to let go of, I don't make decisions in terms of that. As much as I could selfishly say, but you've got to do everything, and if they say surgery, let them do whatever. I have to also look at, every time they do surgery, there's brain damage. Like, that is what it is classed as, and we don't know what we'll get back. And thankfully, we've been extremely lucky, and we've had Ross back both times, but that's not always the case. And there's always an imprint, and there's always something that is left. And I had to allow Ross to make that decision himself. Yes, it's scarier for that option to be taken away, but I had already made peace with whatever Ross wanted to do, I would go with and fully support, because it's his decision and it's his life. And these are big conversations that he's having, big things that he's having to deal with, and he's just unreal. Like, I don't say that lightly. I'm not blowing smoke up his arse. He's unreal. He's amazing. He is just so normal and well, he's proper weird, but that's nothing to do with the brain stuff. But he's just amazing, and he's been having chemotherapy at home, which is good because it means the kids don't really see any difference. He's actually been great with the chemotherapy. He's been a bit sick the first day of it, but it's only having it 3 days. And he's been having that for the last couple of months. We haven't had a new MRI since that one. That will be coming up soon, and then we'll kind of see where we're at with this new chemotherapy. I guess I've got an unnerving feeling. I guess it's an unnerving time now, because we kind of just got to hope that this chemotherapy has done something. And I think we sort of, even though, and please, those people that send me stuff like, never give up hope, I'm not going to give up hope, because you can't do that. But I also deal in reality and where we are right now as well. So I sort of have to go, it may be a case that this will have still grown, but hopefully the chemotherapy is slowing things or stopping it. That would be amazing. We didn't realise how important stability, when they talk about your cancer being stable, if you're going through this and you're thinking, but I want it gone, obviously you would rather have it gone than stable, but don't underestimate how good stable is. Stable's good. And we underestimated how good stable was, and we had stable for quite a while, and I think we kind of were just so desperate for gone that we didn't appreciate that stable was also good. So it's, do you know what, overall the good things, the positives are Ross is absolutely great. Like, he's just normal. We are going to the Caribbean next week or the week after. Because it's about making memories right now, and it's about just, we bought a house and we're doing normal stuff and we're loving each other and we're happy and all of those things. And yes, there's always that the hospital appointments in the background and things like that, and the children are much more aware, which is a whole different video, which I'll maybe do another time. yeah, that's where we're at. And I'm very, very grateful for all of your messages, and those of you who you don't know me really, you know me from online and know a lot about my life because I put a lot out there, but you still give a shit, and it's nice. It's really kind of you, and it means a lot, truly. And I get so many nice messages and emails and tweets and all that stuff off you guys, and truly it means a lot. Like it really does mean a lot, and this video has been prompted because you guys have followed up and went, actually we want to know a little bit more, and this is it. This is where we're at. All I can say is that, as much as if somebody told me this story, I would go, oh my god, and I would probably be upset for them. Our lives, our day-to-day life is good, and we laugh and we joke and we take the piss out of each other, and it doesn't get let off anything, and we make jokes that are totally inappropriate about brain cancer because that's what you do, because we're British and British people take the piss out of everything. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, just message me below and subscribe, and I will link up some of the videos, so those of you who are watching this like, what? I came from an accent video that you did. I came from some silly video where you were talking about your kids, and now we're talking about brain cancer. I will explain it on one of those, and I'll link it somewhere here. Don't forget to subscribe, message me below, give me a thumb, say hi, tweet me, Facebook me, Instagram me, and that's it.